Well, as Linda said, I have worked on community solutions projects, and I am realizing that I'm sitting here with 3 people that were in the Passive House video. And so I feel like I'm a kindergartner in this area, but I'll show you what I've done. I bought this house in 1990, and for $70,000, it was in terrible shape. But I had a young family, and we didn't have a lot of money. And really, the story that I'm going to tell really started about 2002, when we started to make investments. I always have cared about energy. I was very active in the first energy crisis, organizing against utilities and nuclear power. So the first thing I wanted to do was install triple pane vinyl windows and replace my single pane wooden framed windows, and that made a huge difference right away. There are several things that I discovered way too late. One of them was that my basement door was just a very thin, rotten piece of wood. And when it was very cold, my pipes would freeze. So it eventually occurred to me that maybe I should do something about that. And I replaced it with a insulated door, and you can see sealed it around the edges as well as could be done. Now my basement is at ground temperature. I insulated the ducts for obvious reasons. Just recently, we were doing some work on the house, so I had them insulate my basement walls. You probably can't tell. You can see where my storm windows used to hang, but you can't tell the people that insulated it didn't do it all the way to the floor level. So it's really not doing much. So I have more work to do on that, because that's where all the cold air comes in. And I replaced my single pane wooden windows with glass block windows. Another obvious mistake that I took a long time to realize was I had an attic fan. And so even though I had insulation in the attic, I had this big hole in my ceiling. So I eventually realized I needed to replace the attic fan, and added a tremendous amount of insulation up there. And there was, my ducts on the second floor were just, it was just an open space where the air went into the 4 rooms. And so I put in ducts and insulated them too, to improve the efficiency of the heat going into the upstairs. The worst part of the house was we had an added-on back porch, which was it was actually falling into the backyard and leaking very badly. And so we just recently rebuilt it and used flash and bat insulation. So now it's the most tightly insulated area of the house. And then I don't know how many people have used window quilts, but as you see their advertisement here, they believe that window quilts are equivalent to not having a window if you have them closed. So we put them on 4 of the 12 windows on the first floor and 4 of the 5 windows on the second floor. And I try to run around and close them when it's cold, or open them when the sun's shining through the window, and maximize the value that they offer. When we remodeled the kitchen, again, Andrew Klein, who did one of the first passive house in Ohio, supposedly, hopefully, I think that's right. He came and put foam in the walls, and then covered the 2x4s with a 1/4-inch foam to keep the wood from passing the heat out of the house. And just in August, I installed 7.3 kilowatts of solar panels with net metering. Yellow Springs has a very generous net metering plan where they will buy back the electricity at the end of the year at retail rates. If you're in DP&L, it's wholesale rates. So it's not really that big of a deal, because you don't produce that much more, and at 13 cents or 12 cents a kilowatt, you know, it might add up to $20 or $50. And I installed an air source heat pump, which allows me to heat, at least in the spring and the fall, with electricity. Now that I have solar electricity, that's a satisfying thing. And of course, I've done typical things to save the electricity that I'm using. And I found that the solar panels actually have made me way more sensitive. I'm out there looking at the net meter many times a day, seeing whether I'm going up or down. And this is in, I guess I can look at it here. In 2002, we used 14,400 kilowatt hours. The average in Yellow Springs is 8,000. So that showed what we were starting with. And we used 1,500 CCFs of gas.
Which is high, much higher than average.
Yeah. And I mean, we're still at 5,600 kilowatt hours is what I project this year, and 750 CCFs. Next year, I expect 500 kilowatt hours net metered and 500 CCFs of gas. One thing I've discovered about solar panels in the short time that I've had them is on a sunny day, you get about 10 times the amount of electricity as you do on a cloudy day. So it's made me reflect on the fact that I'm really relying on coal in the winter when it's a cloudy day. So it makes you think, well, I need to get batteries, or I need to insulate better, and maybe I should have insulated my house some more before I put in solar panels. But I'm still learning, and I'm glad I didn't have to go after Ward, because he'll show you how it's done right. But thank you very much.
Thank you.